Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be going over the first lesson of our last unit actually, for Algebra 1, which will be, or actually the name of the unit will be Statistics. So in the lesson 1 we'll be going over the line and curve of best fit. So we'll be basically taking different values from the question and then trying to figure out the line or curve. So lines are based off linear data and curves are based off quadratic data. So it'll be like a quadratic equation if it was a curve. And yeah, so that's just kind of like the intro to what we'll be doing. You guys can, like, I don't know if you guys need to know box and whisker plots here in Algebra 1. So I'll cover that as an optional lesson later if you guys need it. But as of now, we're just going to be going over line and curve of best fit. So let's start with the first question. So our first question gives us 6 points, right? And then it's asking us to construct a line. Well, what do we know about lines, right? It's in the y equals mx plus b format, right? So if you remember from a few units ago, I don't exactly remember which one, but we actually did this exact same problem. So what you got to do is take 2 points and then try to find the slope, and then take 1 point and try to find the y-intercept. So let's do that. Let's take these first 2 points because they're the least. So you take y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is the slope formula. So 17 minus 10 over 10 minus 6. So we'll have 17 minus 10 over 10 minus 6. Which is equal to 7 over 4, right? So that's going to be our slope. And then from here, so we know that y equals 7 over 4 x plus b. From here, let's take any random point. Let's take 6, 10. And then input it into our line. So for y it'll be 10. And then for this value it'll be 6. Oops. 6. And then now we just solve for b. So 7 4 times 6 is the same thing as 21 over 2, right? And then subtract 21 over 2 by both sides. You will get, so you should get negative 1/2 equals b. And so from here, and if you guys wondered how I got that so fast, you guys can just use the calculator if you need to, and to solve for b. No one's gonna expect you to know that off mentally, but anyways. So y equals 7 over 4x plus b, which is our negative 1/2, so minus 1/2. And so this should be answer, guys. Y equals 7/4 x minus 1/2. If you guys want, you can put in different types of forms, like graph it, put it in standard form, things like that. But for now, we're just going to go with the standard slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Now that we have that, let's go to our next question. This, as you can already see by the answer choices, right? You know that it's going to be a quadratic equation. So what do we know about quadratic equations, right? You can't really figure out what the quadratic equation is based off points. But what you can do is you can basically solve points, like put in points for these values and see what you get in return. Right? So say we wanted to, let's just pick a random, let's start with A, right? So say we wanted to put a random point in it, right? Let's say let's do 0, negative 4.7, because that's the y-intercept. That should be a little easier to calculate. So I'm going to get my handy dandy calculator out right here. So let me pull up my calculator. Right here. Alright, so what we're going to do in this one is, so let me move this to the side so you guys can see it as well. So let's see, we have 1.1x squared plus 4.2x plus 4.9, right? I think I forgot to add that calculator, plus sign. So we're doing 0, negative 4.7, so 0 into x, so 0 squared is 0, 0 times 1.1 is 0, and so basically your answer should be 4.9, right? Because 0 is in place for all of those. So does negative 4.7 equal 4.9? No, right? So here, let me show you guys what my thinking is right here. Right here. Alright, so 1.1 times 0 squared plus 4.2 times 0 plus 4.9. Time from here, or yeah, let me write equals negative 4.7. And so 0, so you'll get from the, after you solve, you get 4.9 is equal to negative 4.7. And is 4.9 really equal to negative 4.7? Immediately, no, definitely not, right? So we know that A is incorrect. So we can get rid of all of our work right here, just to make it a little bit cleaner for you guys to see. especially since I'm using a computer and not using LaTeX form, which would be much more confusing. So let's see this next question, right? Let's take the same point. And we're going to take, so basically what we're trying to do is just find the line of best fit, right? So in this case, if we use 0, negative 4.7, right? Oops, this is supposed to be 7. Alright, and let's do the same thing. So we have 1.1 times 0 squared. And if you guys want, I know this is kind of late, but before I completely finish solving it, you guys can go back and try to do it on your own to see what it is. Plus 4.2 times 0 minus 4.7. From here you get 0 plus 0 minus 4.7 is equal to negative 4.7. And so is negative 4.7 equal to negative 4.7? Well, it is. So this will be your final answer, right? So B should be your right answer. I'm going to bold your answer right here so you guys can clearly see the answer, and I'm going to bold this part. Alright, so those are our two questions in line and curve of best fit. This was kind of a short one. Just to wrap things up, I have a quick summary for you guys. So basically, so you'll also see like tables and trying to figure out which is like a line, which will yield a curve. If you see like as each value goes down and down, as your x goes at a linear rate, so x is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, like that, and your y value also goes up or down linear rate, like say from 10, 9, 8, or 10, 11, 12, or 10, 9.5, 9, 8.5, 8, things like that, then that's a line, and then it's a line, right? Because it's going down at a linear rate. But if it's the opposite, like say you have 1, 2, 3 as your x, and then for y you have I don't know, 5, 4, 2, 0, negative 1, things like that, where it goes, as it goes down and down or up and up, it starts decreasing even more and more, or increasing even more and more. That's when you have a curve. So yeah guys, that's basically it, and in the next lesson, I think we'll be, we'll be going over the data variation. So that's like kind of like the nitty gritty, or like the actual content of statistics. This is kind of like just like an overview, line and curve of best fit. That's lesson 1. In lesson 2, we'll be going through data variation, and I'll let you guys know if there's, I think that should be the last, the second unit, or second lesson. Oh wait, yeah, so there's 3 lessons in this. We'll be going over line and curve of best fit, which we just did. Then we'll be going over data variation, and then lastly we'll be going over sigma and z-scores. So sigma notation isn't really something you need to know now. That'll be something you cover in later years, like AP statistics, which you'll probably be taking in high school. So that's not something we'll be worrying about, but we will be worrying about data variation and z-scores. So I'll see you in the next lesson, which will be data variation. Thank you guys for watching.